Hello, this is Lindsay Johnson with Sterling-Lancaster Community TV. Today I am here at the Sterling Airport with the Greater Boston Soaring Club, and today is their Spring Commission Day, and they are taking out their gliders from storage, assembling them, lubricating them, whatever they need to do to get ready for the gliding season.
Drop those tail drop. Somebody grab, make sure the fuselage doesn't rotate full all the time. Okay, that's good. I think we ought to rotate it into the wind. Into the wind, absolutely. Because it's easier. Well, wait a minute, you're going to have the wings. The wings are winging. Well, we'll move the wings one at a time. Okay, now it's we're going to want to move edge because we're running into the trail in the wings That's where they are. Yeah. Honestly. Oh, good. And those are tiny cleaning up too. Yeah. No, are they? Yeah. They're the ones right. No, those are tethered. These ones are over here. The ones that they're there. Well, there are two sets right here. Lift up the trailing edge.
See, this has got to go up. That needs to be lifted up. That's it. Okay.
Okay, looks like the wing has to come forward. Forward?
No.
No? Okay.
Dropping it all or what? Down a bit? I'll push it in. There we go. Okay.
Okay, good.
Did you get the guide pin?
Okay, did you have did anybody get rigging pins?
I thought there was a pin.
Yeah, I used to use just plain old drift pin.
Down, 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 forward, in here.
Oh, excellent.
Wiggle it a little bit.
That's it, good.
Okay, let me get this one. That's good. You're doing real good.
Excellent.
Go back here.
Yeah, there's
Forward.
something.
Back, down, back, up.
You gotta do it with the hammer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you in?
Yeah.
Shoulder on. And you got a socket wrench? I got well, I'll take that.
Wait a second. Yeah, a little bit. So it doesn't spin. You want to engage the nylon? Yeah. I mean, the nylon lock that's on the end could be worn out by now.
Is this connected?
No.
What is it? Is it in the socket correctly?
Well, it's easy to deal with. Yeah, you
Yes. Yeah, the clevis isn't hooked up to the
yeah, there's not
the
no
bracket yet.
attachment.
To the Velcro.
Yeah. It's just flop. If you want to be good about it, put the aileron lock back on. Put it on to that.
What? Yeah, even I can see this. Why don't you keep the ball
I don't know what happened to my socket.
I have it here.
Okay, so
The 9/16.
yeah, again, it's just barely more than a finger turn.
Got your other two sockets.
This old little thing can't spin.
I'll try not to go home with them.
Don't get pushed out.
Before we button this up, we just go around and make sure all the...
Oh, no, drag spark pin has to be put in and safety.
Yeah.
Who's the,
I don't have the...
oh, where's the parts bag?
It's on the trailer.
I'll get it.
Let's get the parts bag here, please. No big cuss words yet.
No.
So it's literally like, oh, just snug, not really tight.
Oh yeah, just finger tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop the tail. Grab the trailing edge.
More. Drop the trailing edge. There you go.
It's got, your spar has to come out.
You have to come.
You have to lift it.
Okay, push.
A little more.
Watch
Forward.
your fingers.
Forward.
Yes, so
You don't have your fingers in there because once it goes, it goes.
Okay.
lift on the tip.
Lift on the tip.
More. More. Okay, now in. Good. Excellent. A little more.
Drop it.
You got to push it in a little more. There you go.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, other turn.
I'm with Steve Pavola with Greater Boston Soaring Club, and he is a glider instructor. So Steve, what is the Spring Commission Day?
Well, what's going on today is the return of the fleet to the airport. Every winter we put our gliders away in hangar storage to get it out of the weather so that it's protected, keep it out of the snow. And today what's going on is we're bringing them back to the airport, cleaning them up, greasing them up, putting them back together, and getting ready to go flying again for the season.
So why don't you guys just leave them together in the storage?
Well, as you can imagine, even if your car, you don't want to leave it out in the weather if you can avoid it. It snows, it salts, it does all those bad things to your whatever you leave outside. So we put them inside for the winter.
And do you guys do any flights today, or is this just a big club get together and just starting for the spring season?
Well, there are plenty of people that would like to go flying, but this is, we've learned from experience that we need to take the full day to put all the gliders together. And it's not just the gliders. There's a lot of ancillary equipment to keep this club flying. We own, 5 golf carts. They have to be opened up, make sure the batteries are charged up. They need to be lubricated. We've got our clubhouses. Got to clean the ice out of the clubhouses. And there's just a lot of work that needs to go on. We have 3 tow planes that we need to make sure they're ready to go flying as well. So there's just a lot of equipment. And even if we're not flying, everybody has a good time. We're all out. That's part of what goes on with the club is we help each other to enjoy the sport that we do.
Now, taking apart a glider, is that a one-person job, or do you need a few more people?
Well, it depends on the glider. All of our club gliders seem to take 4 or 5 people to take apart and put them back together again. But there are competition gliders where it's just one person and a couple of tools, and just one person can put it together, take it apart.
How long does it take to put together or take apart a glider?
Again, it depends on the glider. The competition gliders go together in about 5 minutes. Takes another 5 minutes to put tape on and make it all clean, and it's ready to go flying. Our club gliders are typically older and don't go together as easily, and especially the 2-place gliders are more heavy, so it takes a lot of people, takes some more time to get them put together or take them apart either direction.
All right, well, thank you, Steve. Today sounds like a fun day, and I'm excited to show you guys what is going on. We could use the interview as with the simulator.
We won't go there. We won't go there. It's a family show, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, the simulator. Gosh, don't say that on air. My boss would crack up. But yeah, I think, but definitely an overlay of, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm assuming what you can do is take whatever audio you
Yeah, instead, just like playing put together an airplane. Great, but I don't really know what's going on.
Well, I can.
Where are the dive brakes, do you know?
Yeah, you have them. Get that one? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We can handle on the other side of this. Okay.
So you can see it's responding to what he's doing. You're seeing the same thing. So that's the spoilers of the dive brakes that I was explaining for controlling your rate of descent. Speeding up.
So I'm doing about 50 knots right now, which is...
And the airspeed indicator is one in the middle.
fairly normal
Fairly
speed.
close to that yellow triangle at the bottom where the needle is.
And if the altimeter is reasonably accurate, I'm about 500 feet above the ground right now, so that's sort of why I was saying I think I'm going to be landing here shortly. Whether I want to or not. Oh, there's another thing I can do maybe. Where is it? There's some other button that lets you gain 1,000 feet.
Oh, that automatic recovery thing, yeah.
The God thing. Oh, well, that's not what I needed. Oh, that's a pause. I don't need that at the moment. Oh, well,
He's landing someplace.
I'm landing in some trees. So you get to see what that looks like. That's one thing you don't want to do in a real glider. You can do all kinds of things in this you wouldn't do in a real glider.
Better to do in simulation.
It doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
Well, no, we don't have any gasoline. Nothing to explode.
No, but to answer your question about tricks and so forth, some of the, qualified pilots in their own ships will do aerobatics. You have to wear a parachute if you're going to be doing unusual attitudes. And they'll do, loops, wing overs, chandelles, some fairly basic maneuvers. None of the gliders here are designed specifically for aerobatics. They do have one that's out in Arizona that's designed to be specifically for aerobatic competition, which they have in gliders.
One thing about gliders, though, is because of the nature of the way they fly, we sort of naturally do 60-degree bank turns, and when you're doing a 60-degree bank turn, you're pulling 2 Gs whether you want to or not,
Yeah.
which feels like a lot. You feel really heavy. And the glider has to be strong to be able to do that. So glider is just sort of, as a matter of course, are very strong and, at least from a strength standpoint, are able to do aerodynamics. So that's why, like all of our two-place trainers are actually legal for doing limited aerobatics.
Now, have you guys ever had been flying someone who got sick or something?
Oh, that happens occasionally.
Yeah.
But
We try to not do that.
We try to not do that. And that's why we rely on the person taking the introductory flight of the ride to kind of let the pilot be aware of how they're feeling. Because some people have asked, oh, can you do a loop, or can you do this, or can you do that? And they're enjoying the higher G or the unusual attitudes that are legal to do. Others, like you were saying earlier, just want it nice and smooth. Keep the wings level and no bumps. Well, you can't say no bumps because you never know what you're going to run into. But they won't put in very steep banks if it's making you uncomfortable. But as Steve was pointing out, in thermaling, in order just to say standing in thermals, being in a 45-degree bank is fairly common, which to someone who isn't used to it seems very steep.
Okay.
Okay. 60 degrees, you would almost believe that your wingtip is pointing straight at the ground, even though it's only 60 degrees and not 90. If it were 90, you'd actually think you'd touched over. Just
That's crazy.
from your perspective. So,
Yeah, what I actually try to do, I never do anything dramatic with people in the glider, and I can sort of make it more exciting. If the person just wants to go up and do sightseeing, I'll do a very gentle flight. But for a first flight, my goal is always, let's have a good time.
Yeah.
you want them to come back for a second flight.
Right, yeah.
I mean, but some people, get motion sick under very benign conditions too.
Yeah.
There's that. Like I said, one of our members had done all this scenery for the local area, so it may look somewhat familiar once you actually take your flight.
I just picked up this flight plan. I don't know what it does.
Why don't you film this? And can you just like explain like what's going on for like in the process of you doing it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, I can try. This is a so-called Condor flight simulator that we're flying here. One of our club members has taken the cockpit of a real glider and converted it into a flight simulator. So we've got controls, the common controls in a glider and common panel for a glider. So, for example, the stick is what's used to control the speed that the glider flies and whether it's going to turn or not. So pushing the stick to the left, the glider will bank to the left and the glider will start turning to the left. To level out and stop turning, we'll move the stick to the right. To go faster, we push the stick forward. The nose goes down and we go faster. As I say, this is a simulator. So we'll start that up. And there's an airplane coming off from the right-hand side, coming over here, lining up for the flight. Glider's not having engines, needs some help to get into the air. And so this is going to be a tow plane that pulls this up. Turns out the simulator is more difficult to fly than a real glider, so if I can manage to fly this, then I probably could fly the real glider doing the same thing. This terrain looks very similar to what the terrain here at Sterling looks like. When we started off, you saw some hangars to the left, and they are just like the hangars we actually have on the field. Straight ahead is the Mount Wachusett. And my task right now is to do formation flight behind the tow plane as he pulls me up higher into the air. The rope looks like a fairly short rope. It's maybe 150 feet long. Where is the release? This is an instruction flight, so this was simulating what we call premature termination of the tow. The tow plane waved me off saying, I don't want to tow you anymore, so I'm trying to turn around here and fly back to the airport. Oh, there's the airport. Okay. So what we're actually trying to do is set up this simulator so students can actually fly this and learn many of the skills that they need to have to fly the real glider. This particular simulation is as if the tow plane failed, the engine seized up or some other thing, which has actually happened to us at one time. Or the rope break or some other thing happened, and so what I'm trying to do is go back to the airport and land safely. So there's the airport ahead of us. I can make it over the trees, which is I've just succeeded in doing. Pull out my dive brakes so I can actually control where I land. You see the hangars on the right-hand side there. Yay! I made it back without causing any damage.
Yeah, I think,
So I survived one of our lessons.
yeah, Eric actually programmed several PTGs in
Yep.
there, and that's obviously one of the ones you pulled out.
There are several of them. That's what that meant. Okay. That was a class.
You have to probably do your own triangle if,
I was just trying to figure out one that day. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, right hand on the stick. 3, Okay, there you go. Good. More to the left.
Okay.
There you go. The stick sort of, don't let the nose bounce up and down. What you want to do is sort of keep the nose a little bit below the horizon. Okay? And unfortunately the stick isn't very well centered, so it'll always be to the left somewhat. So you're doing great here. Oh, excellent.
Oh, cool.
Okay? So to go faster, push the nose so it's a little bit farther below the horizon. And you'll speed up. You can see the airspeed going up. So you're doing about 50 knots now. Pulling the stick back a little bit. Just about that far. Don't go too much slower than that. We're slowing down to about 40 knots. Okay? So push the stick to the left and let's do a left-hand turn. That's good enough bank, and just put it back more towards the middle. Don't bank any more than that. See that? You're turning left. And then if you put the wings level here, it'll stop turning. Notice how the nose sort of, when you bank into the turn, the nose wants to drop down a little bit. And that's what real gliders do. So you end up having to, when you turn into a turn, you have to apply a little bit of back pressure to prevent the nose from dropping and prevent the glider from speeding up. And then when you roll out of the turn, you have to release that back pressure so the nose doesn't bob up, and so you don't slow down more than you want it to.
So when do I use the rudders?
So the idea of the rudder is that, you see that yaw string up there?
Yeah.
It's better to do the rudder talk when you're not in the air, but when you use the stick to the left, the yaw string is going to tend to move to the right. So use the rudder at the same time you're using the stick in the same direction.
Oh, okay.
So let's put the nose down just a little bit more than it is. I want to go a little bit faster than this. And let's turn to the left.
With the rudder?
Use the stick. The stick actually turns you, and the rudder corrects sort of an error in the way airplanes work. So this is runway center line, and then follow that down to the runway. If we're going like this, it's going to be hard to make that final right-hand turn and line up on the runway. Okay, so just straight ahead a little bit longer. Okay. Now turn right and put your left hand on the air brake, which was this thing here. Just pull back the air brake. Yeah. So the idea of the air brake is gliders want to fly very flat, but it makes it hard to figure out where you're actually going to touch down when you want to land. So the air brake is there to help us do that. And you're doing great. You're lining up. So that brake handle holds by. You're doing as good as you can.
Am I going to make it?
I don't know. We may run out of runway, but you're doing really great.
Yes, you got it made.
Super.
Oh, I did it!
Yes. And then put the left wing on the ground, see what it does. Just push the stick to the left. Oh, congratulations.
I guess that went better than I thought it would.
I'm impressed. You've got natural talent.
I guess I do.
I'll go get the application now. So.
Hi, I'm here with Casey Horgan from the Greater Boston Soaring Club, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the gliders and how they get them in the air. So, people are wondering, a glider is a sailplane. How do you get them in the air?
So we have these tow planes, you can see one in the background right here, and then we have about a 200-foot rope that gets attached to the back of that tow plane and then the front of the sailplane. The tow plane takes off, dragging the sailplane behind it, and once we get to a certain speed, the sailplane is able to come off the ground. We stay attached to the tow plane until we get to somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 feet off the ground, at which point we have a handle that we pull in the glider that drops the rope from the front of our nose, and we turn away from the tow plane.
Now, do gliders come in all different shapes and sizes?
They sure do. We have several high-performance gliders that have longer wings and they're a little bit sleeker looking and they can go very long distances. We have trainer gliders that have shorter wings, they're a little bit bulkier, and then we have everything in between.
Now, how do you guys communicate in air? Do you have more than one person flying in the air in different gliders at a time? And you guys have to communicate not to hit each other.
Yes, we do get a lot of traffic around here, gliders, and then there are also powered airplanes that fly from this airport, and we all have radios, so we can communicate to each other on a local frequency to let other people know what we're doing.
Now, is there a max amount of gliders that can be in the air at one time from one airport, or?
No, there's not.
It's just a free-for-all?
It's kind of a free-for-all. So on a good soaring day, we'll have 10, 15 gliders ready to go, and we'll just push them up, attach them to the tow plane, and take off. And so there will be a lot of gliders in the air at once. Some of them don't stay in the local area. They'll fly long distances and then come back and land later.
How often is it to hear of a glider doing a cross-country?
Most weekends there are people out here going cross-country soaring. It depends a lot on the weather, of course, but you'll have gliders that go 200, 300 kilometers and then come back here, and they'll be up for several hours, and they take off and land from the same airport.
Now, how do they keep up in the air?
So they use what's called lift, which is columns of rising air that's created by the heating of the Earth's surface. So columns of air come up under the glider, and you can actually gain altitude even though you have no engine.
A thermal?
Yes.
Yes, a thermal. And so they catch those thermals and they ride it up.
Correct. Sometimes you'll see gliders circling in the air. They seem to be staying in one place. It's because they're in a thermal and they're trying to use that thermal to gain altitude.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you, Casey.
No problem. Thank you.
A little more turbulence on the ground. 200 clear. That'll dissipate very quickly. There we go.
See, I'm the type of person who has pre-anxiety to whatever, like something big I'm gonna do. So like once I'm in the middle of doing it, I'm fine.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, I think I'm okay now.
Want to go a little higher then?
Sure.
We'll go to 2,000 or 3,000. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, once you're in the air, sometimes it's better. Follow me on the stick. Just hold on to the stick. Follow me on the pedal. I'm just trying to stay behind him is all I'm doing. And I just bank a little bit. Stay with me. So you see the church spire on the mountain there, just under his right wing?
Yeah.
That's Paxton Center. And if you look sort of halfway between there and the top of the mountain, windmills.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going higher, he's taking us under a little bit different of a tow route. That's the Holden reservoirs on your right. Right? That's the Holden Reservoir. And a beautiful farm down below us on the right.
So calm now.
Yep, we're above the thermal barrier, and it comes right down. Later today, that'll be even higher. So you basically cannot soar above that barrier because the thermals don't penetrate it. But as the day progresses, it gets higher and higher. So by the end of the day, it'll be up to 3,000 or 4,000 feet. And it's sort of dependent on where you are in the geography of the area. So there's 2,000 feet. There's Worcester right underneath him.
Right over, yeah. Right
Yeah.
over there.
That's Worcester. Right, we're well within landing range of the airport.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Now you can see that house with the black landscape. It's really nice.
It's interesting. It's also a little weird, the landscaping.
See a lot of trash too. Look at the other house out there, that farm stuff. So it's like brakes, you're going to feel the bottom drop a little bit. We're good. And now we do what's called look and land. Look for traffic and pay attention to landing. And announce it too. You're going to grab the glider 6070. You had it left across runway 34 on the grass. So you can see the tow plane hooked up, ready to take another glider.
People are pretty small.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful day. I'm on my way.
This is the river on our right. I'm not sure what it's called, the Swift or something. But that's a very popular fly fishing area. The closer we get to the ground, the more ground turbulence you'll feel towards Sterling-Lancaster.
I'm
Not
on
to
my
feel the
way.
commercial aircraft because they're so heavy they don't
Such
get
a
blown.
beautiful day.
You do feel it in these airplanes. 'Cause they're
I'm
very low.
on my way. Such a
That kind of shuddering is the turbulence coming off the wings from the spoilers being
moving
open
forward.
and hitting the elevator and tail of the
Making
van. That's absolutely perfectly normal and expected.
doing
Now we're making it down
everything
the
that is
turn.
on my
Look at it last time.
Got a feeling
I don't know if you can see it, but there's some
gonna make it last
Oh, the
forever.
hey,
You have the hay.
yeah, those are
Okay.
cool.